warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to your podcast. I am your host Muhammad Komara. Today we're talking about something that runs for entire life. The internet to help my unpack this. I infinite my challenge Muhammad Malik Akbar. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Rehan. Most people use the internet every day, but rarely stop to thinking about how it's worked or how much it has changed our society.
Actually, let's start with the basic. How would you define the internet and why did it become to so important?
Simple, but the internet is a massive global network that connects millions of devices, allowing them to share information almost instantly. It's broke down the barriers of distance and time. Sometimes that used to take days, now takes a fraction of a second.
Cool. You briefly explain how the development.
Sure. It started as a military and academic research project in the late 1960s. Means to have researchers share data securely and evolved into the World Wide Web in the early 1990s, when it's become accessible to ordinary people, not just scientists or the government.
No, it touches every part of daily life, education, business, entertainment, even relationship. What are the biggest benefits for students like us?
Access to information is the biggest one. We can research any topic instantly, join online class and collaborate classmates remotely, and even across different cities or country. It's also open opportunity like freelancing or learning new skills through online courses, which which are currently really available to previous generation.
I agree. But let's look this critically because nothing is without is downside. What are the major risks that come with such heavy internet use?
I like had three. First, misinformation. False information spread quickly and convinces people of things that aren't true. Second, privacy and data security. Science companies collect a lot of personal information, sometimes without us realizing it. And third, digital addiction, especially with social media, which affect mental health and productivity.
I did. At the digital divide, not everyone has full access, especially in remote areas. Do you think this gap is closing?
Slowly, government and companies are investing in infrastructure like satellite, internet to reach rural access areas. But there is still significant gap between urban and rural access, and between developed and developing countries.
That's important because equal access the information should be a basic right. How do you think the internet has changed the way we build relationship with others?
Uh, on, on one hand, it makes staying in touch with family and friends much easier, and let us build community around shared interests. On the other hand, some argue face-to-face communication skills are weakening, since so much interaction now happen through screen.
Fair point. Before we wrap up the advice, would you give someone who want to use the internet more responsibility and productive?
Uh, Three things. Always verify information before sharing it, especially on social media. Be mindful of your screen time to so it doesn't take over your daily routine. And protect your personal data with strong password and two-factor authentication whenever possible.
Great. Advice the summarize the internet is going to transforms how the life learn and connect with other but like powerful. Two, two. In the come with real responsibilities, we need to use critical and wisely, not just specifically. Thanks for sharing and insight on the topic, Malik.
Thank you for having me, Ryan. It was great discussion. Welcome back everyone for this segment. I'll be your host. Today we are talking about a tool that might seem old-fashioned compared to social media, but is still incredibly important. It's email. Joining me as a guest speaker is Muhammad Rehan Komara. Welcome, Muhammad Rehan Komara.
Thanks, Malik. Happy to be here this time on the other side of conversation.
Many young people rely more on that chat apps than email. In your opinion, why does email still matter today?
That's a great question. Apps like WhatsApp or Instagram are more popular for casual setting, but email is the standard method of communication in formal and professional settings. When you apply for a job or communication for with university, email is almost always the required channel. It creates a written travel record which chat apps don't always provide in professional context.
Could you explain briefly how email actually work technically?
Sure, when you send an email travel for your device to a email server which routes it through the internet to the reception server and finally for their inbox, usually within seconds. It relies on protocol like SMTP for sending an IMAP or POP, POP3 for receiving.
As student, how important is email etiquette, and what mistake do people commonly make?
It's very important, and many students overlook it. Common mistake include overly casual, like no clear subject line, or emailing a lecture without introducing self good adequate means as proper, greeting a concise subject line, polite language, and proper closing with your name.
Let's look at critically what are the main risks associated with the email used today.
The biggest risk is phishing. Attackers di Segue tells a traveling organization to trick people into relieving personal information to clicking malicious link. There also spam with full inbox and email overload, where 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 too many messages wake up hard process.
Have you or anyone you know ever encouraged a phishing attempt through email?
Actually, yes, I once received an email claiming to be from a bank, asking me confirm my account. Still talk early. I look confusing, but the sender address with site message usually by warning sheet. That taught me to always check the sender and address carefully for clicking anything.
Great example of why awareness matter. Besides phishing, do you think email etiquette differs a lot between academic and professional environment?
There definitely some overlap, but professional email tend be short and more action oriented, while academic email to lecture after need more context, like your class name and the purpose of the message in inbox case. So clarity, personal always matter.
That's a helpful discussion. So, what step can someone take to use email more safely?
Never click expression like from senders. Use server password with two factor. Antonize organize your inbox with folder. And always double check the reply and context before hitting send.
Do you think email will remain relevant in the future?
I believe. So, especially in formal academic context, because the reliability and documentation value. I feel likely keep evolving with productive tools and feature nature shaping.
With point to end on. So even though email might be some like an order from or communication, it remains it's essential in academic and professional life. And understanding how to use it properly and safely in skill every student should master. Thank you, Rehan, for sharing your story today.
Thank you, Malik. This is a great session.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.